Hey, folks, you're listening to the Wrecking Crew Comedy Podcast, and today we have a special guest. The one and only Spencer Rice of Kenny vs. Spenny is with us. Thanks so much, Spenny, for doing this. I really appreciate this.
Vito, my pleasure.
I
I
know.
love the Italian people.
No, I know. Well, you're like 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah, in between, like 6'3" and 3/4.
Right. So,
I don't know in meters, but we're talking feet and inches, right?
yeah. Well, yeah, I saw you at Comic-Con, and I had no idea you were. I knew you were tall, but I had no idea you were that tall. When you stood
Yeah,
up,
everybody says that. Everybody says that when they meet me. But
I'm
yeah,
Italian,
what
so
can I do?
anything over 5 feet freaks me out. You know,
Okay.
kind of. So, do you got a cold or anything?
Yeah, I've got, I got kids, and
No, me
one of
too.
them started school, and it's like a petri dish, the school, and they just bring stuff back, and I got a sore throat. And I'll live. I'll be able to get through this. I promise.
No, you won't. You won't. I've got the same thing. The kids just when they got the coughs or whatever, I'm like, just I'll hide in the basement. You know,
Right.
I don't.
I can't do that, unfortunately.
I can't. I hate being sick. Absolutely. Do you get the flu
Yeah.
shot?
I haven't. I'm due to get one. I just have to go to the drugstore
Yeah,
and
yeah.
let them shoot it
Just
up me.
yeah, yeah. Just
I will get one. I'm not against it.
no, neither am I. I'll take heroin, whatever, anything to fucking get rid of feeling like shit or sick.
Let me know when they start giving away heroin for free at the drugstore.
Well,
Just
they do,
shoot
but
me
you
and
gotta
tweet
wear
me.
an outfit and shit. So it
That's
depends.
okay.
So you know what you remind me of?
No.
All right, don't get angry. You
No.
remind me of a Steve Gutenberg, a cross between like a Tom Hanks and an Albert Brooks, all into one. Like you're just a
Did you say Albert Brooks?
yeah, yeah. You
He's my favorite tweeter.
is he really?
You should follow him on Twitter. He is hilarious, man. His tweets. I mean, the really funny ones come up like once, maybe every week or two, but they're really
They're
funny, man.
gold, yeah. No, that's what you remind me of. You've got this. There's a niceness. There's this comedy timing that you have. That I mean, everybody's seen Kenny versus Spenny. Watch the timing on the way you do things and say things. Are you aware?
Don't make me conscious of it, Vito. Then I'll
Then
start
you'll start.
screwing it
Yeah,
up. Right?
but that's something that you cannot teach. And I know that you went to Second City. You studied.
No, I never did. You said that to me when you met me, though. I
No,
never did that.
didn't you go to classes?
Nothing against it. Nothing against it. I watched a lot of Second City, the old TV show, but I never. No, I've never taken an acting class. I just watched a lot of movies, a lot of comedy, a lot of classic comedy, and
It says that on the.
and you know what? In fairness, my family's pretty damn funny too. So I'm sure as yours is too. These things don't occur out of nowhere.
Yeah, true. No, that's
yeah.
true. But where do you get who'd you get it from? Your dad, your mom? Who did you get?
Well, my dad had a very dry sense of humor.
Right.
My mother's side of the family is pretty funny. My cousin, my late first cousin Marjorie was, quite a well-to-do writer in Hollywood.
Yes,
she wrote
that's right.
4 Seinfeld episodes, and Larry Sanders, and she wrote for Chris Elliott, Get a Life. So I was exposed to stand-up at a very young age. And, I've always said that it's all the Beatles. I mean, when I first heard the Beatles, my cousin Marjorie exposed it to me. It was just a slippery slope into everything, into comedy, into TV, into movies. And I love the Beatles, and I just think that was my I could have gone down the sports road or what other kids do, and that was it. It was entertainment once I understood the Beatles. Yeah.
No, I know. Well, my dad, it freaked me out. I never knew my dad loved the Beatles. And one day he just started playing the Beatles. And I just thought, what is this? I'm super young.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he's playing the Beatles. And I'm like, I absolutely love this. And it's just one of those things where It's like when you're a kid, you ever, I don't know if you're a car guy, but I
No,
remember as a little kid seeing a Ferrari for the first time and just thinking, that's a car. Like that's just, it's a rocket ship car. Like
I
if,
think with me it's guitars, not cars. That's my thing. But yeah, it's the same idea. My dad was into Frank Sinatra. I mean, he
yeah,
was
mine too.
deeply
Yeah.
into Frank.
Yeah.
So I grew
Elvis.
up with a lot of Francis and then sort of the Beatles, and it's just all good to me. Like I don't have any. I can listen to country music. I can listen to hard rock. I can listen to metal. I can listen to the only thing I don't really like is sort of music that's just not about anything particularly. It's just a beat for kids to dance to. I find that hard to get into.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
to each their own.
No, I know. The only way I could get into it is if I'm like on painkillers or something, or if I've got
Yes,
a couple.
Percocets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Percocets are good.
Yeah.
Hydromorphine, I
if
particularly
if you're
enjoy.
on something, I notice like I'll go to the dentist and ask me to hook me up, and he's like, Vito, he's Chinese, but he's funny. He'll give me something, and it's just I don't want to get him in trouble, but he's a nice guy. But that's the only way I could get into the music. Like even, have you ever heard of death metal?
Yeah, death metal. Yeah, not my thing, but
Yeah,
yes, I've heard of it. It's
yeah,
pretty funny.
it's not my thing, but there are times there are certain times, like uh, uh, some it's weird. Like I remember
The
listening.
singers just sound like they're belching. It's just
Yeah,
like one long belch.
yes,
You know.
yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I remember my dad when I love Judas Priest, so I used to play Judas Priest, and my dad would go, "Can you please turn that off? I don't understand what the fuck he's yelling about." I'd go, Dad, how do you not understand what he's saying? How do you not understand? You can hear it clear as a bell. What do you? And then
My
now,
dad never got Elvis. That was our big thing. I kept trying to explain to him, honey, I'm on the phone. I kept trying to explain to him how important Elvis was and how great Elvis was actually, and not that, honey, I'm on the phone. Yes, what? Oh my God. Hey, I'm gonna have to move rooms. Sorry, Vito.
no, that's fine.
Oh, there goes my alarm.
That's fine. This is great.
It's all happening.
It's reality.
The spaceship is taking off, Vito. That's a cute outfit, Sloan. Now you need to sit here with your sister because Daddy's on a work call. Okay? Okay. Sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
I've got the same thing happens to me. Um, no, yeah, of course, yeah, Elvis. No, my dad was a huge Elvis fan. My mom, when she used to clean the house, she used to play Elvis. When I was a little, I used to, they used to have the giant. Remember then they used to have the giant stereo system that was made out of a cabinet. Remember,
Sure.
it used to be like a piece of furniture, and then you never knew that if you lifted it up, there used to be a stereo under there. There was
Sure.
one of those baby. What are they called? Crescendo. What are they called? I forget the name. But they're these. I never see them anymore. And I asked somebody, are they worth anything? They're like, no, they're not worth anything. But I would love to have one, just design wise. But she used to play.
I just remember my dad had trouble with the Beatles, and what turned him around was when he found out that Leonard Bernstein had an album where he did classical versions of Beatles songs.
Yeah, yeah.
And that really, that was for some reason he needed that sort of approval.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, no, that's weird. My dad's like that too, where it's like there's some entertainer or something, and he's not into it. And I go, his father was Italian. He's like, oh, he's good then. He's good. He's good.
Right,
It's
right.
like all of a sudden.
Yeah, if Elvis was Jewish, it would have been a major plus for my father. He always hated, like on 60 Minutes when there'd be these shows and they'd be exposing some scam artist. If the scammer was Jewish, he'd get so upset.
Yeah, my father too. If he was Italian, he'd be like, it would be an embarrassment. It'd be like, what's his name?
Right.
He'd be like, oh, yeah. My dad loved Columbo. And I'm like, Dad, he's not
Sure,
really Italian.
Peter Falk.
Yeah, he's not really Italian, but my dad's like, no, he's Italian. I'm like, he play, his background is supposed to be Italian, but I don't think Peter Falk is Italian.
He could be.
Or half. Maybe he's half.
De Niro's half Italian. I mean, you don't know, but
Who
he's
would
half Jewish, half Italian. What?
who would you say is your comedy influence growing up? Like, how did you?
I guess Woody Allen, probably. If I was, I don't really. It's not something I ever really thought of. I mean, I also love Andy Kaufman.
Yes.
I love Dennis Miller, but I don't know if I can see them as influences because, frankly, I never really done anything that was, you could, except for Kaufman, he's sort of all over the map and he's just really hard to sort of pin down. But most of the others are filmmakers or they're writers or they're or they're stand-up comics. And because I never did that, there was no obvious influence to me other than just the type of humor that I liked, which was somehow deeper than just the jokes, and it's my biggest issue with sort of today's comics. And I hate to simplify and overgeneralize because there's always exceptions, but I think that like the literacy of comedy is very low these days, and I blame someone who I admire greatly, Will Ferrell, in a way. He made stupid funny, but then all of a sudden, the smart funny that had philosophical value in the comedy just seems to go right over the kids' heads. Irony, sarcasm, stuff like that.
Yeah. That's, to me. I agree with you. I think the problem is people don't want. They want the joke right away. They don't want to think, and they don't want.
So it's something like that. But then you look at like Annie Hall or Crimes and Misdemeanors or Zelig or one of his many great films, Woody Allen, and now all they want to talk about is child molesting. So it's like that. It's not even about the movies anymore. You can't even bring up Woody Allen in the conversation without all of a sudden have pedophilia coming up.
No, I know, and that to me is such a downer. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. It's like just watch.
This is why Trump. I can't even believe I'm saying it's the first time I guess I've said this on any kind of media. But he's this is how Trump became president.
I know. Isn't that
the kinds of things people are concerned with are negative, simple, unidimensional things like making fun of Rosie O'Donnell's weight. This is what people are going to gravitate towards.
But doesn't that absolutely? I mean, I can't believe it. I still walk around in a daze saying Donald Trump is the president.
I made the adjustment. I was there for a few days, and now I've totally made the adjustment.
It's just weird.
Like I've seen too many pictures of him, now with this, all these surrounded by people, and he's picking his cabinet. So I'm kind of over that, and I'm not overtly. I'm very political in my private life in terms of opinions, but generally not.
No, I'm with you too. And then people are
front with it.
Yeah, people are. They're. How can you? What do you mean? He's got this or that, and I'm not very. But behind closed doors, I'm very political. But I notice if I talk too much political, you get the nut jobs. You get people, and it's like, what? I just find it very weird that he's president. A guy that was a celebrity, the stuff that he's done, it's just weird. Like, I just, like, we're talking, what was it, 10, 15 years ago? I remember I grew up watching Carson, right? You cannot have made a joke about the president back then without the audience booing. Like the audience would be like, "Ooh," it used to.
That's not true. He used to make fun, but there was a sort of line.
Yes, there was a line. Now they're talking, grab him by the pussy. It's like you would never hear this stuff back then. It was just there was a respect factor.
Have you seen the meme? And it's Donald, and he's like in a limo, the windows down, and he's got a gun pointing at the camera, and it goes, "Get in, pussy. We're gonna make America great again."
Well, I hope, I don't know. I hope, I hope it goes well, but, anyways.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's the mature, by all means, protest. Everybody's got a right in our country and their country. But the truth is, the guy's done it. He's there for 4 years. I'd like to see him help the middle class. I'd like to see him help the working class. I'd like to see manufacturing jobs come back and all the things he's talking about.
Right.
The problem is he's so full of shit about everything, you don't really know where he's going to land. My hope is that he wants to leave behind a legacy. He's 70 years old now. He's got to be thinking about how he's going to be remembered. And boy, does he have an opportunity here to be remembered as something other than, just a rich kid who became richer and screwed a lot of people along the way. And
I think he wants a statue, his legacy to be this giant bronze statue. Like he wants that. He wants where people go, you know what? he was. I mean, it was the same thing when Ronald Reagan came in. They were like, he's an actor. He's he's just an
Well, he
actor.
was a two-term governor, so it really isn't the same. I
No,
mean, yes, I agree
you
with
know,
you, but like you said, the reason why you're in such disbelief in Trump, I mean, I don't think it was as much as Reagan. Like everybody was shocked with Reagan, but not that shocked.
yeah,
This
no,
is
yeah.
completely.
I
I
know
could
this
be
is
actually
weird.
in denial about it. I don't know. I'm just
It's just,
in denial in terms of how shocked I am.
could
But
you imagine putting?
I paid such close attention to the election, and now because he won, a lot of the people just say, okay, now we don't have to pay attention anymore. The election's over. With me, it's the exact opposite. Now I'm fucked for 4 years. I'm going to totally follow this guy.
Right.
More than any other president, maybe than Nixon. I mean, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Nixon and Watergate and came home from school and watched the hearings every day. But this is a whole different level of engagement, I think it's going to be for me.
Yeah, I think he's going to be scrutinized more than anybody.
Yes, correct.
Because
absolutely,
that's just the nature of the beast with him. I've never seen it so vicious though, like between the two parties.
No one has. It's unprecedented.
Yeah,
it really
is. It reminded me of it was like a grudge match, literally a grudge match. The shit.
Well, they lock her up. The primaries were completely vicious. I mean, but lock her up, and him saying in a debate, "What I'm going to put you in jail." I mean, you can go back to some very harsh elections back in the 1800s and early 1900s. It still pales in comparison to this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not unheard of. There's always been rough elections, especially in the U.S., but I would say this because of the social media and all the celebrity around it.
No, I know.
It's in its own league.
Well, yeah, I know. I won't even ask you about Trudeau. We won't do that. So, where a lot of people, I don't know if they don't know this about you or they know. You're a director, a producer, I was going to say a musician, not musician, a magician, but no, musician, a comedian, a screenwriter. I mean, you've got your, like you know how to do all these.
Well, to within reason, I'm not going to direct a special effects movie in Hollywood. I mean,
you should.
I can, but yeah, I should. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've always just followed my muse in what I like to do, almost stubbornly to the point where it's probably hurt my career. But at the same time, I'm one of those people that's just in it for the creativity. And if I wasn't doing it, if I was selling cars or carpeting somewhere, I'd probably be writing a novel at night or playing music, like that's just who I am. But I don't know. Right now I'm very geared into live performing. I just got to think today someone wants me to do a pilot with them and I'm probably just not interested. It's just that there's so many headaches with the TV business. You can't beat the exposure, but Jesus, there's something about going in with my guitar or my sex toy bingo show or the other shows that I do live.
Yes.
And just go in, do it. Nobody looking over my shoulder. I say what I want, I do what I want, I get my money, and I go to the next town or whatever. That's very appealing to me, and I think I told you that when I was in London.
No, I get that, but no, don't. I would still love to see you in movies and stuff. So just
don't hold your breath, brother. Don't hold your breath.
I know you seem like you're
actively pursuing.
I totally understand. It's just it is a grind. And to deal with idiots on a daily basis and just...
Well, it's not just that. I mean, there are idiots, of course. I just mean that the amount of time you spend, trying to get a project off the ground, whether it's film or television, is time not doing what I love to do, which is being creative, and that fundamentally is my issue.
But why don't you do like a documentary of what you're doing?
Where? How? I tried. I had a great doc I want to do. It's all written up. It's on monogamy,
right.
And I think it's a fascinating topic. I know I've got the film in my head and on paper. I know exactly what I want to do, but it still costs, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to pull it off. So then you're just spending all your time trying to, get that money or get someone to sign on and meetings and this and that. And it's just, I don't think I'm lazy as much as I just don't like beating my head up against the wall. And I've tried. It felt like I haven't tried. I've beaten my head against the wall, and it's so much nicer not having to do that. So
right. No, I know.
How much time do I have? Okay, I gotta go.
Okay,
We'll do this again,
we
man.
will. Listen, thank you so much. I wanted to talk to you a little. Next time, I'll
Yeah,
talk
we'll
to you
do it
about
again. We'll
the
do it
other
again.
stuff.
Just hit me up on the internet there, and we'll do it again. But I gotta run.
All right, listen, boss. Thank you
Okay.
so much. I'll
Thanks,
talk to you
Vito.
later, folks. We're talking to Kenny of Kenny versus Spenny. Uh, he had to take off. It happens. But no, I wanted to talk to him more about the Kenny versus Spenny stuff and all the people that have been on that show. I remember he did one episode. There was the Iron Sheik on it. It was just there's so much I wanted to bug him with, but just time, just don't have the time. And anyways, I'll get him back, promise. But folks, thanks so much. If you got any questions, ask. Let me know. Email me or Facebook. Let me know what's going on. Um, that sucks. I really wanted to ask him more shit, but that's life, folks. You're listening to the Wrecking Crew Comedy Podcast. I'm Vito D'Amico. Be good, and I'll get some more shit up soon. All right, I'll talk to you later.